Yes, sir. We are back-to-back nights. Marcus Sloan, the host of Sloan Cold Facts. Again, we got another special guest in the building. The guest tonight, he was offered his first college offer as an 8th grader. It's tough. Recruited by every major school in the country. When he graduated high school, he was an all-time leader in wins in the state of Texas. He was ranked top 30 in the country in high school. First team All Pac-12, second team All Pac-12, back-to-back years. He was a legend. It was my first year in Europe. I was in Germany, and they were like, yo, it's a guard in Houston named Nic Wise. He getting buckets. Crazy. And they sent me the YouTube clip. Yo, he was going crazy. Arizona star, Arizona legend, 4-year basketball player, University of Arizona. Played overseas in Europe, made big money. Now he got his own brand, been an entrepreneur for years, and probably got more money than everybody in this draft class. You don't know I'm talking about. It's Nic Wise, the Houston legend, PG legend. Nic, welcome to the Sloan Cold Facts podcast.
Appreciate the love, brother. You know, since day one, since back in the day when I came back from Europe,
Facts.
coming to your camps.
Facts, yeah.
You always show love.
Now, Nic, what school offered you as an 8th grader, dog?
Texas.
So UT Rick Barnes offered you as an 8th grader.
Yep, Rick Barnes. It was actually right after 8th grade AAU Nationals in Orlando. Mm-hmm. I think I had like back-to-back games, 38 and 42.
Oh, wow.
And, and it's funny because my brother and my sister and my mom both went to Texas. So they thought it was like a lock that I was already going there. And I never told this story before, but I actually like verbally committed to them on an 8th grade visit.
Oh, wow.
And at the 8th grade visit, they're like, you know, they rolled out the red carpet. And
so now this you going to 9th grade?
Yeah, this is a summer, before 9th grade, going to 9th grade right after AAU Nationals.
Okay.
And they rolled out the red carpet. They was playing my highlights from that AAU Nationals tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting next to Rick Barnes the whole time. He's like, damn, this is you? I'm like, yeah. Him and Coach Springman was like the main one.
Russell Springman.
Yeah, that was my guy. He was the main one recruiting me. And I never forget, like, as I'm leaving out the office, he was like, so you coming around? I'm like, yeah, I'm coming. But, you know, my dad was like, you can't do that.
Too early.
Yeah, he's like, you can't just be saying anything.
Yeah.
Even though you might end up going there, just don't. You still got a couple more places to go check out.
Mm-hmm. So growing up, Nic, you played for the Houston Hoops. We had Tommy Mason Griffin in a couple weeks ago.
My guy.
And he told me playing for the Hoops, you was giving him a lot of the game. You were one of the top players in the country.
Yeah. Class
2006, he was a younger guy. Talk about what the Hoops meant to you and just you passing that knowledge on to him.
Man, the Hughes was big, man. Hal Passner and Josh Passner, you know, they grew me from young. Josh was my coach, I want to say, like, middle school.
Okay.
Like,
yep.
Up until, you know, he left to go coach at Arizona, you know, he was our coach. And, you know, he the one that got me on repetitions. He made me, after he left to Arizona, he would call back and say, made me shoot 500 shots a day and record each and send them my stats. So he's the one who started me on that, you know, repetition and getting in the gym every day. But, yeah, Hal Passman was huge, too. He was our Nike plug. I had every shoe in the book.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a big shoe guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he just knew, like, hey, if Nic had these on, then everybody else in the city's going to want them. And I would have shoes like 3-4 months early.
Wow.
Not even really knowing what I had on my feet.
Yep.
Everybody else coming up to me like, how the hell you? I'm like, bro, I don't know. That's how.
Yeah. So, Nic, growing up, man, playing for the Hoops, your high school experience is a little bit different. Just to backtrack, your dad's legendary coach, Greg Wise, won multiple state championships.
Shout out to G Wise.
G Wise, the OG. Kind of talk about your high school experiences, playing in a couple different high schools, and just kind of being able to find somewhere where we say, yo, this is where I'm gonna be, and I'm gonna just kill here.
Man, so I grew up in Katy, Cinco Ranch. We probably ever since I was like 5 or 6, up until 9th grade, and it's crazy because rewind before that in 8th grade, every day after 8th grade, I would get out of school probably about 2:30. My dad was coaching at Hightower at the time, and they had one of the top teams in the city with Lanny Smith, Mike Ume, Chudy, Cedric Fears. They were beasts. And my sister would drive me from middle school 35 minutes to Mo City to Hightower for open gym every day.
Okay.
And I don't know how he did it, but somehow my pops would move the open gym time back, because open gym is normally like right after school.
Correct. Yep.
So he moved it back like 30, 45 minutes. He would make them lift, or he would make them run outside just so I could get there and play against him, as an 8th grader. And of course there's 2 courts, so I'm initially starting off on the smaller court with freshmen and sophomores, and it got to a point to where like everybody would just come to the court and watch me play against everybody else. So he finally had to move me up to the juniors and seniors, still killing. And that's when I knew. I was like, yo,
you got a chance.
Yeah, if I could do this against these guys and they the best. Lanny Smith was a guy I looked up to. Lo and behold, he was one of the few point guards that made it to the league in Sacramento. So he was a beast. And just playing against him every day built my confidence up. So the next year, I'm still in Katy, go to Cinco Ranch, playing with Charlie Jones and Sean Morris.
Yep.
I don't know if y'all remember them from Westside All-Stars. Yep. They were a problem too, best friends. And so I ended up having to come off the bench behind them, still doing pretty well.
Your freshman year?
As a freshman.
Okay.
But before I even played a game, I had committed to Arizona. Before I even played a freshman basketball game, Lou Olson came to Cinco Ranch High School. And
your freshman year?
This is my freshman year before basketball season even started.
It offered you? Oh, wow.
Yep. And I went on my visit, and he came to the school, and that's when I committed.
So to get offered by Arizona, you had to be really killing, because now at this time Arizona is, this is Richard Jefferson, Gilbert Arenas, Channing Frye. Like, this is a top 5, top 10 program in the country.
Right. And they was labeled Point Guard U at the time.
Correct.
So all the point guards they was funneling through the league, whether it was Damon Stoudemire, Steve Kerr,
Gilbert Arenas,
Gilbert, Mike Bibby. It was crazy. And so to have that offer, it was nuts. Like, looking at it now, and I watch high school guys play, I'm like, there's no way any of these guys would know where they're going as a freshman.
Correct, yeah.
Not even playing their first freshman game. For a Hall of Fame coach like Lou Olson to see that in me, that was love. And for a sub 6 foot guard, Nick, like people don't know, it's not like it was now. Like, you had to really kill, especially playing the point. You had to be able to distribute, be a floor general, have feel, IQ, and to do that at a high level like you did in high school and get all these accolades and play like on the EYBL at the time, people don't understand like the type of dude you had to be, and the type of work ethic you had to put in and the type of player you had to be. So just you like being who you were as a player, getting the accolades you did, that was a big time accomplishment for you, for sure. Yeah, appreciate that. And you're definitely right, man. Having my pops, be who he was. He had me in the gym every morning before school. I'm shooting 100 shots, a spot on a gun every day before school, 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock. And, he would never let me get too big headed. Everybody else would be singing praises and he'd be at home. Boy, you ain't do nothing. You let this dude score 13, 14 points on you. Like, what is you hype about? Like, don't let these people hype your head up. So he did a good job of keeping
you grounded. Yep. So you at Cinco Ranch your freshman year?
Yeah.
You stayed the entire year?
We went 30-6 and lost to, I think, Hastings, like second or third round.
Okay. And sophomore year?
I ended up going to Hightower because Lanny and Mike
graduated. Okay, so now this is 03, 04 then. So your sophomore, you play for Hightower.
Played for Hightower, which
playing for your dad. How was that?
It was crazy, man. It was dope because everybody wants to play for their pops, and of course their pops gonna let you rock out.
Correct.
But bro, I caught mono beginning of the season.
Oh, wow.
I missed like 2-3 months of the season. A lot of people don't know that, and that's kind of when, like, I don't think I was the same after that because I lost a lot of weight. I lost probably about 30-something pounds.
Oh, wow.
I'm in school for a whole month. Like, I'm in bed.
Your sophomore year, dang, that's crazy.
Year, yeah, and I'm on the, that was supposed to be the year for us to do it. Because we pretty much had the same team besides Lanny and Mike Ume gone. Yeah. That's probably the best high school team I played on. And that year, we ended up – I didn't have the best year. I didn't pick up my speed until, like, towards playoff time. We ended up going to regional finals and losing to Jawan McClellan Milby, the undefeated team that ended up winning. Yep. So it was crazy, and we beat Kingwood in the semifinals, and then I ended up going to Kingwood next year.
Your next year. So next year you're at Kingwood. Your dad coaching, somebody else coaching?
No. So what happened was my dad, after my sophomore year at High Tier, my dad wanted to retire and just watch me play my last 2 years. Okay. So that's when he started his real estate business, which is doing really well now. Greg Wise
cooking,
so
been on fire.
Right. And he ended up starting this business then, and we ended up moving. We actually were supposed to go to Westfield. So I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I went to Westfield for a month of my junior year to start. But I like
North side, too rugged, too rough.
It wasn't that it was rugged, but I just didn't. It was something with the coach, Coach Brown. Me and my pops, we didn't agree on, and of course they already had a point guard there, Chris Hagan, who was nice, and so it would have been a 2-point guard kind of type thing. We would have won state, no doubt. Because that next year they ended up going like 32-0 until we beat them in the regional finals to go to the state. But they was nice. We just didn't agree with some of the things the coach was doing in the system and stuff like that. So we ended up going down the street to Kingwood.
And was Coach in Huseman?
Coach Huseman, yeah.
He was a coach. So Kingwood was in my district growing up.
What school you went to?
I was at Eisenhower. Okay. So they were the spring schools. It was Spring, Kingwood, Humble. They were in our district. And he had a system he always ran. Backdoor you, patience, but he never had like a dynamic guard or player before. Right. So what was that like for you going to play for a guy who, had a quote-unquote system, being the dynamic point guard you were?
Always watching Kingwood, you could see like they going to be good no matter what because of his system and the way he coaches, his discipline. They always like 1 or 2 pieces away. Like even at Hightower, like they gave us a run for our money. I think we only won by like 3 or 4 the year before to beat them in the regional semifinals. But when I got there, it was a little clash because it was, I'm like play up and down. I'm coming from Hightower, we pressing and running. Yeah. And going to him, he's half court, slow down. We run a Kansas high-low offense. And we throwing it in post every other play, no matter what. I never forget. I can't remember what tournament we were at, but we would never come out at halftime to warm up. We'd always come out with like 30 seconds on the clock. And they asked him like, why don't you let your guys warm up at halftime? He said, you don't need to be warm to throw the ball inside. Oh, wow. That's how militant he was. Okay. Like, we didn't warm up no halftime at all. We going straight inside. And we didn't have to be warm. That's how he felt. But tough. I mean, once I got used to it, and once he got used to me, he started giving me a little bit more string. He wasn't used to having someone that could take the game over at any point. Yeah. He ain't like no flash at all, which was hard for me. Yeah, it was different. I mean, it helped me prepare for the next level of college because you're not going to be too flashy in college, but I still needed some type of rope to, have my swag with it.
Correct. So your junior year, y'all balling, y'all killing.
Yep.
You roll through the season, rolling through district, playoffs come. At what point did you realize, we might have a chance to really pull this off to win the state championship?
I think when we won, those not the preseason tournaments, but they beginning of the season type tournaments and Christmas tournaments. We won all those, and I was like, from that point, I knew, we had a good enough squad to do it. And of course, my pops knew the team before I really did because he had to scout them a bunch of times before we played them the year before. So he would tell me too, like, you know, y'all, you got a chance if you go here. I wouldn't bring you here if y'all ain't had a chance to win. And I didn't even know this at the time, but when I left Westfield, Coach Brown tried to. He actually had me I don't know if you want to call it disqualified because I moved from that school to Kingwood.
Okay.
So it was like a month period where I didn't even know if I was gonna be able to play.
Oh, he called URL.
Yeah, and we had to appeal and everything. I didn't even know. My dad kept it from me. But like he told me at the end, like, yo, we had to appeal. It's been a month and we finally got passed. So you gonna play? I'm like, I didn't even know.
Yeah.
My coach didn't tell me. He didn't tell me. I think they knew not to just to keep it from me so I could stay on pace and keep, you know, working. But yeah, junior year, we ended up going through playoffs, winning state.
Who'd y'all beat state championship?
Man, we beat DeSoto.
Oh, okay.
They had
Dez Willingham. No, he was not Dez Willingham.
Gary Flowers.
Oh, Gary Flowers.
And, Beal. What's his name?
Jermaine
Beal went to Vanderbilt.
Absolutely, yep.
Yeah, he was like my rival, Houston-Dallas rival. He played with Team Texas.
Okay.
Me with the Houston Hoops. So, we always back and forth. But, yeah, ended up beating them in the finals, hit the game winner. And that was, like, really emotional for me, winning that game and the way I played in that game. Because I have been getting a lot of, I want to say hate.
Yeah.
But it was more so like I had been around so long, like I
People
was
got tired of seeing you.
Yeah, top 1, 2 in the state since I was like 6th, 7th grade. You know, so they was tired of seeing me, and you know, of course, other new people come around. They see the new thing on the block. He better than Nic.
Yeah, no way.
When it come to winning time, you don't want to see me. I'm gonna get it done.
So you win the state championship junior year. Now it's your last summer AAU with the Hoops.
Yeah.
What was that summer like for you, knowing coming off a state championship? At this point, are you already committed to Arizona or no?
Bro, yeah, I'm committed as an 8th grader. Going to before I even played a high school game at Cinco Ranch, I committed.
So what was that like? What was your recruiting like? Were schools still hitting you? I'm sure they were. Or they were like, you know what? We know he's going to Arizona. It's done. It's over. So
I would still get a bunch of letters. I'll never forget. Like, I got a letter from North Carolina. I think it was Matt Doherty or something at the time.
Yep.
I said, geez, this is North Carolina.
Yeah, it's
I'm
Carolina.
talking to my dad, like, gee, wow, this North Carolina. Like, this is one of my dream schools, too. I got to see what's up. He's like, nah, we big on loyalty. And he would tell me all the time, a bunch of coaches would call him because he's a high school coach already. So they're going to call him about players all the time. And he was just like, nah, I got to shield them off from you. I'm not even going to tell you who. But, you know, the main three that I was looking at was Baylor because of Coach Tang. Mm-hmm. Good guy. He was one of my AAU coaches with the Hoops as well. Okay. And then Texas, of course, with Springman. Then Arizona because of Josh Pastner. So, like, just having them roots from grassroots is really, it's big.
3 really good dudes, man. Jay Tang, the head coach at Kansas State. Springman, Coach Springman, assistant at Oral Roberts, my guy. And, of course, Josh, the head coach at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, so back to your question. That summer, it was a big summer for me because I felt like I had a lot of proof going into my senior year and then, you know, before going to Arizona. So Peach Jam was one of my favorites. You know, shout out to Tommy. He was there as a rising 8th grader. Yep. I think that was one thing that Hal did was a good, like, he brought me as an 8th grader too to Peach Jam, playing with Daniel Gibson, Tag Minor, and Indy Evie.
Loaded group.
Yeah, we was nice. And I think Hicks had a post I seen a couple months ago. He said that I was the first 8th grader to play and score in the Peach Jam. The only 8th grader to score and play Peach Jam. Tommy came with us, but he didn't play. I don't know why. He probably could have, but he didn't really play. He was just there spectating. And like he said, he asked me 1,000,001 questions. He asked me 1,000,001 questions. I'm like, Tommy, bro, once you get to this age, like, you ain't gonna be worried about none of these dudes. Like, you're gonna be better than, because I saw Tommy as like a me 2.0.
Right.
You know, like Tommy could do everything I could do, but he was more athletic.
Yeah.
You know, the way he got up on his shot, like Tommy in his prime, like he's windmilling everything. Like I couldn't do that. So he could do everything I could do, but he's just more athletic. Right. So he was like a 2.0 to me. But yeah, killed that Peach Jam. Killed Boo Williams.
So was it a relief for you knowing that like the recruiting process was already over for you? Like you don't have to fill all them calls and deal with the media asking where you're going and all this and that. So like you could just focus on basketball.
Yeah, that was my main point in committing early. So I didn't have to go through that the circus of talking to coaches every other day and telling guys like I don't really want to come there, but I'm gonna entertain you, type shit. But that was one thing. But on the backside of that, like it put the biggest target on my back because it didn't matter what gym I walked into. Oh, that's Nic Wise. He going to Arizona. We coming.
Yeah.
So it made me better because I got everybody A game. Everybody want to show out. I guess the kid is already committed to
Arizona.
Top five all-time basketball schools
in the country. Yeah.
So it was the front end good, and then the back end it was just like, damn, like.
So why Arizona?
Lute Olson. That style of play, it was like a 12-second offense.
Okay.
So we was running, gunning, and he was pushing point guards into the league, period. So for him to have that type of confidence in me as an 8th grader, I think I might still hold a record for youngest athlete to commit. 14 years old. So for him to do that, it was like a confidence boost and builder. Even though Texas was on the same type time, there was a football school at the time, and me as an 8th grader, I think TJ was there, and D Gibb was about to be there.
Yep.
That next year, but they were still a major football school at the time, so I just wanted to go to a major basketball culture, and also get a little bit farther away from home. My personality, I'm very independent, so I know if I would have stayed in Texas. Just 2 hours away from home, I would have been back at the crib a lot. Had a lot of distractions, but so I just wanted to get away and focus.
So now you pick Arizona. I ain't gonna lie. I used to be on Facebook, and your Arizona pictures had me super jealous, dog. God dang. I was like, yo, these dudes at Arizona get it in. You was at every party, it seemed like. It was a club scene. It was girls everywhere. It was your teammates. I'm like, damn, man, Nic Wise. Listen, I'm in Europe. This must have been like 07, 08. I'm in Europe. I'm like, yo, Nic Wise is living the life.
Where's you at, Belgium?
I was in Germany.
Germany, okay.
I was like, yo, Nic Wise living the life. Like, yo, this dude in college, like, they at the parties. It's like celebrities to get it in. Like Arizona was lit.
Bruh. Yeah, that was probably one of the best times in my life, Arizona. It's because...
And now they got a pipeline, obviously, with. So while you were there, Josh was on staff, right? So Jawan signs, he commits. Then Fendi signs, he commits, and then you. So they had like this Houston pipeline of talent, right?
Right. It's crazy you say that because I was thinking about this earlier. So that Houston Hoops team I played on as an 8th grader with D Gibb and Tack and Indy, we were supposed to be like probably one of the best teams of all time because we supposed to have Kendrick Perkins,
correct,
and Jawan, but because of the shoe companies, everybody was split. But just imagine D Gibb, Tack, Jawan, Indy, Kendrick Perkins. Oh my,
it's tough.
God, Indy was number 2 in the country behind LeBron at the time,
and he actually committed to Arizona too. Actually,
he did.
Out of high school.
He was one of the main reasons I was coming too.
Before he put his name in the draft,
he was on the same visit. I was an 8th grader. He was a junior.
Oh,
on the same
okay.
Visit.
Yeah.
He was one of the reasons I was going too. But back to what you were saying at Arizona, that pipeline, Josh had that pipeline. So
no, and you could tell, man, he went back to his roots. He came and got Houston kids, and the guys were successful.
Yeah,
and I think you probably had the best career of any of the Houston kids at Arizona. But I mean, again, it just seemed like you were having a great time there. Y'all were rolling, y'all were winning, and then like you just like blew up to this big like college basketball star. Go into detail if you can, like just what that was like for you being like the big man on a campus at a basketball school in the Pac-12. Your nationally acclaimed team, one of the best point guards in the country, in a very tough league with James Harden and other pros.
Right. Yeah, we had James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Aaron Brooks.
That's when the Pac-12 was really
it was
tough.
OJ Mayo,
Pac-10 back then.
DeMar
actually,
DeRozan, Darren Collison. It was.
And
rolling.
you giving them dudes work.
Oh,
listen, like I'm paying attention. You giving James Harden, Arizona State work.
Word.
You giving UCLA work.
Word.
You giving Carlson and UCLA work. You giving Aaron Brooks at Oregon work.
Right.
I'm like, yo, dude from like, yo, little Nic Wise, like, he's cooking these people.
Klay Thompson was there too.
Yeah,
Isaiah
Washington
Thomas
State
was there
too.
too.
UW, yeah.
Kevin Love. I mean, it was wild Pac-10 then. But yeah, it was Pac-10 then, but Pac-12 now.
Right.
But yeah, man, it was crazy at Arizona. Like you said, we're in Tucson, so we're not really in a major city.
Yeah.
So we was like
the guys.
Oh my God.
The main attraction.
We was the celebrity superstars.
Yeah.
Like I felt like Chris Paul in that joint every single day. Like I couldn't go nowhere without pictures, autographs, stuff like that. Getting anything you want. Going anywhere you want.
Yeah.
And you know, being like one of the best point guards in the country at the time. Because I was on the cover of 3-4 college basketball magazines and stuff like that. So it was pretty much a dream come true. But, you know, it felt like home because I knew all the work I had put in. Yeah. I was supposed to be there, you know. And
now, Nick, speak on this because your freshman year, you didn't get a chance to play as much.
No, right? I didn't because I was behind Mustafa Shakur.
Yep.
He was a senior, and he was the McDonald's All-American MVP, co-MVP with LeBron.
He was, 03 class.
So he started as a freshman. There was no way I was going to, play, even though I'm giving them work and practice every day. Jawan would tell me every day, hey, next year you got it. Yeah. Because they're not going to sit a senior down after you've been starting for 4 years.
So how was your mindset in that? You coming from being the guy in high school, AAU, playing all the minutes. You come in, you playing behind the Mickey D's, 3-year starter that you killing in practice, though.
Right.
You giving them problems in practice, but you got to sit behind them. Your mentality during that time, what was that like? It was like, man, because you could have easily been like, yeah, man, fuck this. I'm out of here. Or you could have just kind of got down on yourself. What made you realize, like, hey, yo, my time is coming?
So, yeah, I went through a couple different emotions, man. Like in the beginning, it was tough. I was a little depressed. Start gaining weight, eating at the cafeteria every day, shit you're not supposed to be eating just because you're miserable trying to make yourself happy. Yeah. End up gaining that freshman 15, and that hurt me. But, of course, having Josh there, he stayed on my head. It was like, bro, just wait your turn. Next year is going to be your ball in your hands. And mind you, when I was there as a freshman, the backup point guard the year before was JP Prince. I don't know if you know him. He ended up so
long guard.
So me coming there and going crazy in practice on him every day, I ended up making him transfer to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Right. So I ended up making him transfer because he saw like, okay, Nick coming, I'm not gonna be able to play point here next year after Stoff. So which I wish he would have stayed because he could have played any position. We would have been crazy nice with him the next year. So he leaves, and then it's coming into my sophomore year. We signed Jared Bayless coming.
Oh, right.
Another point guard who was top 5
in
his class, Mickey D's too. So he coming thinking the ball's gonna be in his hands, which was probably what the coaches was telling him.
Yeah.
But the whole time we knowing like
it's your show.
Yeah. So they try to start him at the point, play us together, but they end up moving him to the 2.
Mm-hmm. And Nick, real quick, let's backtrack real quick. So during that time, you said you got depressed. You gained your freshman 15. What did you lean on, or who did you lean on to? Because a lot of people, they don't understand. Like, again, man, when you come from being a guy your whole life,
right?
Now you got to sit. You feel like, yo, coach is fucking with me mentally, playing mind games. You see I'm killing this dude. Like, you could have went a lot of places. What did you lean on to kind of keep you motivated and keep you like, hey, man, like, I know if I just keep working, my time is coming?
Jawan McClellan, shout out to Jawan, man. He was big because he was going through it too. I think he had just had knee surgery. If he didn't have knee surgery, he'd be in the league. Yeah, because Jawan was that dude. 6'5", 6'6",
absolutely athletic.
Shooter, athletic, could do everything. But before that knee surgery, after that knee, he kind of slowed down a bit and turned into a 3-and-D guy. But shout out to him. He was a big mentor for me. And, of course, Josh Pastner, the only 2 there. We also had Fendi Onabun there from Houston. So, having them Houston guys there with me who, know me from way back in the day and know what I could do, they stuck by me and, kept me on the path to stick with it. Until my sophomore year, even through, man, I had 4 coaches in college. I had a different coach every year.
Yeah, you know what's so crazy? Fendi said that yesterday. I didn't even know that. He said like after it was a time where like Ludos and like they had like a couple different coaches. I'm like, that's something I didn't even know. I had no clue.
Yeah, so I had Luke my freshman year, which was favorite system ever, running gun. He ain't saying nothing to you. He let you rock. Then my sophomore year, he gets sick and goes for a leave. And they hire Kevin O'Neal, who was the Toronto Raptors coach before that.
Right.
I didn't really like him.
Yeah,
he was
used
very
to be
militant,
like Northwestern or somewhere like that before. I think.
Yeah, I think he's at Tennessee as well too.
Yeah,
very militant, very slow down offense.
And so he wasn't on staff before they hired him in as a
no. He was they hired him as assistant.
Okay.
To Luke.
Okay.
And then when Luke got sick, he got promoted.
Okay.
To head coach because he had been head coach before and coaching NBA. So I didn't really like him because he running all these half court sets. We wasn't running at all.
Yeah.
He actually tried to make me come off the bench for a few games and see how Jared could play the point.
Yeah.
Didn't work too long. I ended up, coming into the star lineup. But after him, they let him go. And they hired Luke came back.
Your junior year.
Yes. And I'm thinking like, oh yeah, we lit. Like we had a squad to run and gun. We had Chase Budinger, who was, Mickey D's. Jared Bayless.
Yep.
No. Jared left. But we had Brandon Jennings was on the way.
Oh,
he committed to us too.
I remember that, yep.
And they was like, we gonna play like Villanova where they had the guards and everything. Yep. So I was excited to play with Brandon Jennings because he's bringing all the scouts, everybody coming to see him.
Yep.
He won and done. He already knew it. And he ended up going to Rome.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah. So it would have been nice with him playing in Ludos on offense. It would have been crazy. But Luke ends up retiring that year.
After your junior year.
Yeah. No, but this is before my junior year.
Okay.
So he gets sick beginning of sophomore
year, comes back,
start of junior year, and retires.
Oh, wow.
So at that time, they just promoted Russ Pennell and Mike Dunlap. So they were like a two head coaches. Russ Pennell was he was like a WNBA coach for the Phoenix Mercury the year before. He's actually assistant coach at Rice now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then Mike Dunlap was an assistant coach for the Denver Nuggets the year before he came to us. So they kind of was like a combo. They let them both
co-head coach.
Yeah, co-head coach.
How was that for you?
I almost transferred. I was this close. We was talking to Tang and Springman. I was this close.
Now, this before the season or during the season?
Before the season.
What made you stay?
Honestly, it was probably my old man made me stay.
Okay.
But like the whole point of me going to Arizona was for Luke and his offense and his style of play. And coming off that sophomore year with that coach, well, I don't even remember his name now.
O'Neal?
Yeah, Kevin O'Neal. And I just hated that style of play. Even though I still averaged, good stats that year, it was too slow. We had horses. We had Jordan Hill, was 8th pick in the draft. Chase Budinger, first round picked. Jared Bayless, me, and Fendi Onabun. Why is we walking the ball up the court? Like we averaged maybe 50 60 points a game, and we got 4 guys on the team who can average 20.
Yeah.
It was nuts. So we all hated that season. We hated that season because it was just like none of our style of play. And so I didn't want to go through that again my junior year. But luckily those 2 coaches, they recognized our skill set and we was, running, gunning.
And that year, you second team all Pac-12. Lou's not there. They got the co-head coach. And now you're going to your senior year. After your junior year, NBA scouts kind of.
So yeah, before that, we my junior year we went Sweet 16.
Oh wow, okay.
And it was probably, I would say it was my best season, playing along Chase Buttinger and Jordan Hill. They called us the Big Three, but they was getting a lot more attention until probably about like the last couple of games of conference play.
Yep.
Because Jordan, he's averaging 19 and 10. He's averaging double-double. Chase was averaging 21 and like 7, and then I'm averaging 16. Yeah. Which on any other team, averaging 16
is huge.
Right.
Yeah.
So for me to be able to still average 16 with 2 first-round picks on your team, like that was probably my best season and the most fun I had. And we ended up going to Sweet 16, losing to Louisville. But averaged 22 and 8 in that Sweet 16 run. So I did, after that season, I did put my name in the draft.
Okay.
I had 7 workouts, and all of them said they just want to see what I could do leading a team on my own without the
2 guys.
Right.
Yeah. So you come back to school your senior year, you're coming off a second team All Pac-12. Now you're a senior year, last run. Now you're getting busy. Big games, big numbers. I got a big time schedule. What's your mindset? You thinking league, no matter what, league or bust at this point?
Yeah. To be honest, of course, the league was on my mind, but I think that's what hurt me because I was thinking about the league too much. I wasn't just focused on, just trying to win every game. I was just focused on playing well. Mainly because everybody left the year before. We had 2 draft picks leave, and then Jeff Withy, who was a McDonald's All-American too, 7-foot center, he ended up leaving us and transferring to Kansas. So we lost some big pieces. Not only that, that's when they go on their hiring hunt my senior year, and that's when they hired Sean Miller from Xavier.
Yep.
Right, so we had nobody. We probably had 7 guys on the team at the time. I'm the only senior. And Sean Miller luckily gets 5 recruits. One of them being Derek Williams, the number 2 pick.
Yeah, I remember him.
The other one being Solomon Hill, who got drafted as well. Been in the league probably about since 2000. I left since 2012. He's been in the league. I think he's with New Orleans Pelicans still. But luckily he got some horses last minute. And but they were still freshmen. They was young and inexperienced. So we knew we wasn't gonna like dominate like we were used to. But they helped us get by. And we didn't have the best season because they were so young and they all played. Like we started 3 freshmen, me and a sophomore. So we was hella young. So I had to get busy, but I think I was more focused on getting to the next level than actually like
leading the team,
trying to win.
And you think that hurt your draft status?
I think it did. I think it did because I play my best when I'm playing to win and playing with my gut instead of overthinking everything. Like, what the scouts like if I do this, or the scouts like if I do that. Instead of just dominating the game and winning, because winning cures damn near everything.
Yeah, but again, like a lot of young guys watching this, they don't understand that they feel like, you got to play well in front of the scouts. And obviously as a player of your caliber, you coming off second team All Pac-12, you're the leader of this group. In your mind, it's impossible for you not to think, you just had 2 first rounders. Now it's my turn. I'm about to get mine. And so again, like you said, in that process of trying to get yours, that leading the team came second, that it was put on the back burner because you're trying to get to the league, which is everybody's dream, everybody's goal. So your mentality during that time was different, and rightfully so, because you saw the success of other guys, partly due to you get them the ball where they need to have the ball. So,
and I think the main thing that contributed to my mind frame being like that was I knew we weren't going to be that good, and I literally asked Sean Miller to let me redshirt a year. And nobody know that story either. I literally asked the man, like, yo, we're not going to be good this year. Let me redshirt so these freshmen going to be sophomores next year. Mind you, that sophomore year, they went to the Elite 8 right after I left. And I was so sick because I knew it. I saw it in them. And that's when that same year Derek Williams gets drafted second.
Yeah.
So I knew, I'm just like, bro, we're not gonna be that nice.
So just for people to understand what you're saying, I have never heard of an all conference dude ask his coach off an all conference junior year to be like, yo, red shirt me my senior year so these dudes can grow up so when they're sophomores we can be ready.
That's how much I was used to winning. And I knew going into that season we weren't gonna be like that. Or unless I just averaged 26, 27 a game, which wasn't gonna happen. So I was like, Coach, just give me 1 year. I really literally begged the dude. Even my dad, he was with it.
Yeah.
Bro, my dad tried to hold me back in 5th grade to be in the same grade as my brother.
Yeah.
I never forget. Like, I'm telling you a lot of stuff that I never told nobody, bro. Nobody knows this. Like, my old man, G Wise, tried to help me back in 5th grade. He was like, if you want to get held back, you got to do it before middle school. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, nah, I don't want to be the same grade as my brother. But looking back, I'm like, damn, I probably should have did it because I would have been even more crazy. But yeah, I asked Coach Miller to let me redshirt, man, 1 year. And that's crazy. Like, coming off the year I just came off.
Yeah, you second team all Pac-10.
Second team, ran the table, the tournament, Sweet 16. And they had already started putting me on the covers of the magazine that summer. So
what did Coach Miller say? He was like, hell no. And now you got to think from his point of view.
Right.
This is first year at Arizona.
Right.
For his best player to ask him to red shirt, he like, hell no, you're not red shirting. Like he needed you.
Yeah, he needed me, like, business-wise, on the business side, to
absolutely.
keep his job tight.
Absolutely.
To not come in and flop the first year.
100%.
But on the other side, like, he knew where I was coming from because he knew, like, I'm out to try to run another Sweet 16 run, go to the Final Four this time. I'm not trying to go to the NIT this year.
Right.
He knew that's where I was coming from, and he was like, I just need you to lead this team and show them, be the bridge from the old to the new, from the new Wilson area to the new Sean Miller era. And he's like, I just need you to do that for me. And, I ended up sticking around and doing it.
Mm-hmm. So senior year's done. You got NBA workouts. Your first team all Pac-10 in a loaded conference. Senior year's finished. You got NBA workouts.
Yep.
You signed with an agent. Do the workouts. Talk about that kind of pre-draft process for you.
Okay, so pre-draft, I ended up signing with I can't even remember dude's name. Andre something. Mm-hmm. He was PJ Tucker's agent to start out at that time. Mm-hmm. A black guy, so I felt comfortable with him. And I ended up having 12 workouts. And I had interest, second round interest. I think my mock draft was like 43rd or 48th, something like that. Mm-hmm. But ended up not getting drafted, and I didn't even play summer league, which is crazy.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I didn't even play summer league. I don't think it's because I really didn't want to. At that point, I didn't get drafted. I was like, man, let me just get ready to go. Yeah. I already had offers, European offers. So I was like, let me just go ahead and get ready to go. My first year, I went to Germany, played with Telekom Bonn, which I loved it.
Man. I also played in Germany my rookie year. Mm-hmm. I tell people, it's a gift and a curse to play in Germany your rookie year.
It's so Americanized.
So it's unbelievable. I mean, like, it feels like you're in the NBA in Germany. Mm-hmm. They got a big time all-star weekend.
Yeah.
Everybody speaks English.
Yeah.
Women love you there.
Yeah.
It's super Americanized. They got Army bases. They got Air Force bases. You get American food.
Yeah, you get
English
spoiled,
stuff on
man.
TV. Like it's crazy.
You get spoiled.
Then you went to a place like Bonn, who had a big budget. They had big money.
The T-Mobile team. We had a budget. We had a nice squad.
Yeah,
I think when I got there, it was Vincent Yarborough was the big dog.
Yep.
Yeah,
I remember Vincent Yarborough from Tennessee.
Yep, Tennessee
Ricky
legend.
D's, yep.
And ended up leading that team in scoring and assists.
Mm-hmm.
And what's crazy was I watched Tommy's interview, right? So Tommy was a rookie there the same year I was a rookie, which is crazy.
Oh, because
I was 3 years older than him, but he came out after a freshman.
Right, yep.
And me and Tommy actually played each other my senior year at Oklahoma. Him and Tiny.
Oh wow! Okay,
yeah, we played him. Him and Willie Warren and Tiny. We played him at Oklahoma, and then he left early, and we was both in Germany at the same time. He was with I was with Bond.
Yep.
And I never told nobody this story either, but Tommy made me touch the earth.
Oh, in
the game. It wasn't like a real like crossover touch the earth, but it was one. So I got hit with the pick, and he rejected the pick. Yeah. So I kind of got tangled up in the pick and touched the ground. But no, I mean I never told nobody that either. But yeah, Tommy he didn't really play that much his rookie year.
Yeah, because his coach was American, Mike Taylor.
Yeah, and they had
they got a veteran team too.
They had a German national team point guard on the team in front of him.
Yep,
which.
Not
better than Tommy. I'm cooking him.
Yep.
But, because Tommy a rookie.
Yeah. Can't play in front of the German national team.
No German national player. He going to get the minutes.
For sure. Germany was a fantastic place.
Oh, man. Like you said.
The clubs, hey, yo. I'm telling you, man. And I was a rookie in Germany in 06, 07. That was my first year.
Okay.
So, it felt like I was home.
Right.
But it spoils you. So next year I left and I went to play in the small city in Switzerland.
Not the same. It is not the same. I learned that too. That's why.
Because you went to France your next year, right?
Yeah, I went to France my second year. Yep. I was in Le Havre. It was like an hour away from Paris. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like you said, everything in Germany is just love. They take care of you, give you a car fresh off the plane, apartment, everything paid for. Insurance, their medical is top notch.
Top notch.
Like I feel like I could have played a lot longer if I did stay in Germany because their medical and their training was just, yes, it was on point. And then going to France my second year, like you said, it is not the same.
Different. And the French league is different too.
Oh, very different.
How they view Americans, especially American guards, because French. The French look at point guards differently.
Mm-hmm. So what's crazy is my second year is when the lockout happened.
Yep.
So I'm over there and I'm playing against Tony Parker.
Right. Yep.
Ronnie Turiaf. Yeah. Nick Batum. Rudy Gobert.
The lockout was crazy.
Man, yeah. So every French guy that was in the league, Boris Diaw, they over there and we playing against them. And most of them, they own the teams.
Correct.
And they were just coming to play. We actually had Jan Mahimi, who won the ship with
fellas.
Dallas Mavericks. He came to play on my team.
Got drafted by the Spurs.
Yep. So he grew up playing for Le Havre, and so he just came back to play with us during the lockout, which was cool. But yeah, that league was way different. Less Americans, because in Germany I think it's like 6 Americans.
Correct. French like 2 or 3 maybe.
2 or 3. Yeah. And so it was way different. And the point guards there are more
traditional, setup guys. So like they didn't. The French at the time looked down on like scoring point guards,
right?
Or point guards who shot, equal to your assist output. So you have to be like a real good setup guy, system guy to play in French at the point.
I did, and it was different for me because like I had to go get it on our team for us to compete.
Yeah.
We weren't loaded like that. We had I don't know if you know Brian Boddicker that went to Texas.
Yeah.
Sharpshooter, 4-man.
Brian Boddicker
he was on my team.
We were on the same team at ABCD camp.
Okay.
Adidas, and then his brother Colin and I played together at TCU.
Oh, bet. Yeah. So he was on my team. So it was good to have somebody from Texas with me. Out there, but I really had to go get it on that team for us to compete. So I couldn't really. I mean, of course, I'm gonna get assists with him on the pick and pop all day long.
Yep.
But other than that, I was good. I was getting to the buckets.
So you had a run in Europe. At what point were you like, you know what, it's time to make that transition to see what's next?
I always knew. It was always in the back of my mind because my sophomore year in college, I had torn my meniscus, so I was out for a month or 2 that year. And doctors pretty much told me you only got 7 years left on this knee because it was like a Brandon Roy situation to where I had no cartilage. My knees was bone on bone.
Yeah.
Some days it would swell up. Some days it would be good. I never knew what I was going to get.
Right. Yeah.
So they probably put it in my head you got 7 years left. So during that time period, I was already gearing towards entrepreneurship, learning from my father, the stuff that he was doing.
Yeah.
And
now, people don't know, man, like Greg Wise Realty, like, yo, he was rolling in.
yeah, he takes care of a lot of athletes.
Yeah,
With Astros,
it's
Texas,
funny, man.
Rockets.
No, real talk. I remember this must have been 2008 or 9. So I'm rolling, making some good money, and like, dude's like, yo, you looking for a spot here, G Wise?
For
Like,
sure.
I'm like, Greg, like, don't he coach? They're like, yeah, he coached, but like, yo, he got a big time real estate company. So like, Greg Wise Realty been rolling for a long time.
Yeah, so he got it in his, I want to say his contract with Yates to where he don't have to do no like PE and no classes. He just has to coach basketball period, and then he gets the rest of the day to do what he wants. So that's when he focuses on the real estate business the rest of the day.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. So now your basketball career in your mind is winding down. You said, yo, I'm gonna jump into this entrepreneurial business.
Yeah.
What was your first venture?
What was my first venture, man? I did a little bit of everything.
Because I ain't gonna lie, dog. Like, I would see you on the gram, like, yo, you was in the real estate.
Yeah. So 2012, my pops got me.
Yeah, then you were into like cryptocurrency. Like, you was doing all type of stuff. And then, yo, again, now you living again. I'm like, yo, Nic Wise, he done hooping. He an entrepreneur. See him pulling up in a Bentley. He got the high rise. I'm like, yo, this dude rolling, like all type of ventures.
Yeah. So, like I said, I got that from my old man from when my junior year in high school, when he just retired just to watch me play. I watched him start up 2 businesses. One was like a lawn care business, and his real estate company, which went hand in hand. And just seeing that was different for me because all I had seen before was, 9-to-5 type. My mom was a elementary school principal, and of course my old man's a teacher, coach. So once he started that, like, it opened my eyes up to new, opportunities and stuff like that. So he did actually convince me to get my real estate license in 2012. So this is only 2 years after I left college.
Yeah.
So I still was in Europe for 5 more years, having my real estate license, just helping them with athletes. When we come back home from overseas, we need a spot to stay at for 3-4 months.
Yeah.
So I would just help everybody get spots, temporary spots for 3-4 months.
Yeah.
And it was cool. And then a couple of years later is when I started getting into the cryptos and the trading, stocks and foreign exchange. And then ever since then, I've been sticking with the financial markets, which is where I'm at now. My company, Wise
Enterprises.
Yeah, it's booming, and we just trying to pretty much help more athletes start that transition early, like I did, to where they can still live that lifestyle after they're done playing. Because most of us, we can't live the same.
No, it's different.
And my life is actually elevated since I've been done playing. So
yeah, no, shit. I said it earlier, dog. Like, the people in your draft class, I know they ain't making money like you for sure. You've been eating for a long time. And I think your story, Nick, can inspire other young dudes currently and dudes, even former players. I said this before. I always say this on shows. We struggle as athletes to try to figure out what's next, and that transition can be a bitch, dog. Like, because in your mind, you like, all I know is basketball. Like, what else can I do? Who's gonna hire me? But what I try to get guys to understand is, like, you can become your own boss. You got a network.
Facts.
Wherever, if you play at Arizona State, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, it's somebody at that university who can help you if you reach back, right? And for you, you saw it every day with your father and the things he was doing. So it kind of was in you naturally, but with your network of dudes you play with and against, like, it made that transition easier for you. And right. I try to explain to guys, like, even myself, I'm learning even to this day, like, you got what you need within your circle, within your system. You got everything you need if you tap into it.
That's the biggest thing I would tell people, the young guys now, which helped me a lot, is network everywhere you go, man. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. It's not about what you know, it's who you know. And one of the biggest things that helped me with that was going to 3 different high schools. I'm on all different sides of the city. I'm in Katy first, I'm in Mo City, then I'm in Kingwood. These are all different sides of the city. So I made so many different friends in different areas of Houston. Is why I'm so well known. It's because I pretty much touched every area. One regret I was thinking about this other day. The only regret I have is not playing at HISD.
Why you say that?
It would have been more legendary. The numbers would have been stupider. I might not have had as good a team as I did playing with Cinco Ranch and High Tower and Kingwood, but like, my favorite memory of all time is going to Jones as an 7th, 8th grader, and watching Tack Miner and D Gibb go at it. One scored 72, the other scored 51.
Yep.
And I was like, bro,
it's crazy.
There's no way I could do that at Kingwood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that was the only regret I had. I mean, not regret, but like, I just like, bro, I wish I could play at HISD 1 year, because when I did play HISD, teams like Tommy, Madison, at Madison, it was 30.
Yeah.
Because they're so up and down, and I feel like it was less structured than the suburban basketball. Inner city is more just running gun, helter skelter. So I feel like the numbers would have been
crazy.
Even, might not have won chips like I did, but the resume would have been stupid.
So Nick, at the end of the show, we do what we call Sloan Cold Facts. And so Sloan Cold Facts, I ask guys who the 5 best players they play with and the 5 best players they played against.
With, you mean like as a team
teammate.
Or just teammate?
Teammate.
Right. Best 5. All right. D Gibb.
Daniel Gibson.
Yeah. Jared Bayless as a freshman at Arizona. Went crazy. He averaged 20 as a freshman. I play. Can you count camps?
Yeah, that's fine. You got camp.
Okay. KD.
What camp was this?
Nike camp.
Okay.
Who else? That's 3.
Yep. So you got Daniel Gibson, Jared Bayless, Kevin Durant.
I played with, at the time he was super nice. I went to France with the USA team, Javars Crittenton.
Okay, yeah.
He was
Georgia Tech guard back in the day from Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah.
A bucket. Played for Atlanta Celtics growing up, actually.
Yeah. He was crazy. Him and Dwight Howard. He was crazy in high school because he was just so he was already NBA build.
He was huge.
6'3", 6'4", point guard at the time, dropping dimes, athletic. He was crazy. And I got one more teammate. It's tough between Chase Budinger and Jordan Hill at Arizona.
Okay.
Jordan, because he came out of nowhere. He was not ranked in the top 100 at all. Only played 1 year of high school basketball.
That's crazy.
And ended up going lottery
in
3 years. So he was one of my favorites, and he's still one of my close friends to this day. Because Chase was the one that was, everybody was looking after.
Right,
he was, McDonald's All-American dunk contest winner.
Right. Super bouncy.
Yeah, super bouncy. He was the most heralded. But Jordan actually coming out the, concrete and going lottery.
Yeah. And then what about the 5 best guys you played against?
Played against. Okay, Sharon Collins from Kansas. Aaron Brooks at Oregon was
former Houston Rocket.
Yeah, he was unstoppable. Who else? I played so it's hard to say then and now, because when I played him, he wasn't like that. Russell Westbrook at UCLA, he wasn't like that. But when he got to the league, he just took off.
Yeah,
but I would say, like, as far as known players now, he's one of the best. What's that? 3?
3. Yep.
I got 2 more. Played against
James Harden.
Oh yeah, we couldn't do nothing with him in college, bro. He was just too strong.
Yeah,
and he, even though he's left hand dominant, like, it don't matter what we did, he's still gonna get to that left.
Yep.
James Harden 4. Let me see if I can give you a good one for the 5th. I'll say OJ Mayo
Okay.
at USC. Not only at USC, but I also played against him at NBA camp too.
Mm-hmm.
We went
It's
at
tough.
it. Yeah, we went at it at NBA camp, and then same at USC.
Mm-hmm.
And he was supposed to be the next LeBron,
Facts.
but
Yeah.
he was tough.
No. Nic Wise, man, we appreciate you. One thing about this show, like I said, we want to give dudes their just dues of the culture, especially basketball culture, and you deserve your flowers. One of the best
Appreciate you.
guards that come through the city. You helped a lot of kids get scholarships, whether you know it or not, with your play here. Schools came back to Houston to recruit smaller guards because of you, so we want to give you your flowers because of that. Your successful career, and now your second act, even bigger career with Wise Enterprises.
Yes, sir.
We salute you, my brother. Appreciate you for joining Sloan Cold Facts.
Appreciate you for having me, man.
Yes, sir.
It's love.
Sloan Cold Facts, episode 12 is in the books. Appreciate it. We out.